Welcome to Decoding China's Novel Food Ingredients Market. Today, we're exploring the opportunities and strategies emerging from natural resources to synthetic biology, a journey through tech evolution, market opportunities driven by health demands, and the strategic landscape of compliance and innovation. Here's our roadmap. First, we'll examine the industry transformation triggered by a single sweetener, D-allulose. Then, we'll trace the five-stage evolution of China's novel food ingredients, from natural resources to synthetic biology. Next, we'll look at three key trends shaping the future. And finally, we'll outline the new rules for winning in the Chinese market. In 2025, D-allulose was approved as a novel food ingredient in China. On the surface, it may seem like just another sweetener entering the market. But in reality, this represents something far more significant. It's a regulatory endorsement. Advanced manufacturing methods like enzymatic conversion, microbial fermentation, and synthetic biology have gained official recognition as viable paths for developing novel food ingredients. This approval marks a fundamental shift taking place in China's food innovation landscape. Today, we're tackling four critical questions. First, what profound changes is China's food innovation sector undergoing? Second, what are the core drivers behind these changes? Third, for foreign enterprises looking to enter the Chinese market, what unprecedented opportunities and challenges does this present? And finally, how can you seize this moment and become a future market leader? Now, let's embark on an epic journey, the evolution of China's novel food ingredients. This is a story of technology-driven innovation, where each technological iteration reshapes the industry landscape and redefines what competitive advantage truly means. Let's start with the data. Over the past 5 years, from 2021 to 2025, more than 150 novel food ingredient applications were accepted by Chinese regulators. During that same period, 49 types of novel ingredients were approved, a staggering 120% growth in approval volume compared to the previous 5 years. But the real story isn't just about the numbers. It's about how these ingredients are developed. China's novel food ingredients industry has gone through several distinct technological phases over the past 2 decades, and each phase has fundamentally redefined what competitive advantage means. Phase 1 was the natural ingredient era, what we might call living off the land. During this period, the key to success was simple: access to natural resources and proof of a long history of safe consumption. The core question was always, has this been safely consumed before? The competitive barrier was resource exclusivity. Think of maca powder, a root vegetable from the Peruvian Andes with centuries of traditional use. Or quinqueanlia leaf, a rare native tree in China with documented medicinal and edible history. Even ornamental ingredients like Kansan cherry blossom entered the market. The competitive advantage was clear: whoever controlled the resources, controlled the market. Phase 2 brought us into the extraction technology era. Scientists began extracting and isolating bioactive compounds from plants in laboratories. The industry shifted from using whole plants to focusing on specific functional ingredients, moving from holistic use to refined processing. Water extraction, ethanol extraction, membrane purification, and directional enzymolysis became the key technologies. The game had changed. It was no longer about having the plant, but about knowing how to extract its most valuable components with precision and purity. Phase 3 marked a true turning point, the microbial fermentation era. With the emergence of probiotics, fungal proteins, and microbial metabolites, the industry transformed from resource collection to biological manufacturing. Modern industrial fermentation tanks became the core equipment. The new competitive advantage shifted to strain development, process optimization, and large-scale production capability. Strain performance, fermentation efficiency, and production scale became the new market entry barriers, a fundamentally different game from the earlier eras. Phase 4 is where we are now, the synthetic biology era. The approval of D-allulose is arguably the milestone for this era. Using tools like CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing, scientists can now precisely modify microbial genomes, transforming yeast and bacteria into cell factories that convert low-cost feedstocks into high-value functional ingredients. The process involves gene editing, cell factory construction, and metabolic pathway optimization. Future potential stars include ergothioneine, sialic acid, specialty proteins, and functional peptides. The core question has been completely reshaped. It's no longer who owns the resources, but who has the most efficient cell factory. Looking ahead, Phase 5 is the integrated technology era, where the system wins. Future innovation will go beyond raw material production, moving toward the integration of raw material development, delivery technology, and product formulation. Technologies like microencapsulation, liposomal delivery systems, phospholipid complexes, and intelligent controlled release mechanisms will define the next frontier. In this era, success won't come from any single technology, it will come from how well you integrate them into a complete solution. Now let's turn to the future. By reviewing historical trajectories and anchoring ourselves in the direction of the times, we can identify 3 key trends that will drive industry change and provide forward-looking guidance for your strategic planning. Trend 1. Synthetic biology-derived food ingredients are entering large-scale commercialization. D-allulose is likely just the beginning, not the end. Synthetic biology is moving from the laboratory to the production line, heading towards standardized and scaled industrial production. For foreign enterprises, the strategic implication is clear: actively evaluate and deploy synthetic biology technologies. Invest in research and development to build efficient cell factories, and construct a technological moat that is genuinely difficult to imitate. Proprietary production technologies and patented strains are becoming the new core competitiveness. Trend 2. Polyphenol-based ingredients are gaining significant momentum. The recent approvals of stevia glycosides, cherry blossom polyphenol, elderberry anthocyanins, and olive polyphenol accurately reflect the explosive growth in consumer demand for solutions in 3 core areas: sugar reduction, antioxidation, and healthy aging. The strategic implication is to follow demand and solidify scientific support. Target the health pain points of Chinese consumers and develop functional products accordingly. At the same time, ensure your product claims are backed by sufficient clinical data and scientific evidence. Trend 3 is perhaps the most transformative. Technological barriers are replacing resource barriers. Future market leaders will no longer be defined by the availability of raw materials, but by proprietary production technologies, patented strains, intellectual property portfolios, and clinical substantiation. The playing field is being completely reshaped, from who owns the resources to who owns the technology. The strategic response is twofold: invest heavily in intellectual property protection in the Chinese market, and adhere to a science-driven approach, speaking with data and evidence rather than marketing claims. Now, let's integrate these core insights, anchor our strategic direction, and build sustainable competitive advantages through localized innovation and agile execution. Here's our core conclusion. China's novel food ingredient approval system is more than a regulatory channel. Its approval guidance and standards essentially draw a clear roadmap for food innovation. The industry has completed a profound transformation, from relying on natural resources, to extraction technology applications, and now to fully embracing microbial fermentation and synthetic biology. The competitive logic of the future market has fundamentally changed. It's no longer about resource possession, but about biotechnology platforms and advanced manufacturing capabilities. This transformation marks the food industry's official entry into a new phase, one where technology defines the future, and those who master core biological manufacturing technologies will hold the industry's voice. So, what should you do? First, focus on value conversion. Successfully transform technological innovation into tangible consumer value, creating a virtuous cycle that enhances brand competitiveness. Second, build barriers. Construct sustainable scientific moats and use technological iteration to maintain a leading position. For foreign enterprises specifically, there are 2 critical action points. Reshape your China market strategy to ensure it resonates with this technology-driven new era, and seize this opportune moment to invest in research and development, lay out intellectual property, and connect with China's innovation ecosystem to build sustainable competitive advantages. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of China's novel food ingredients market. To learn more or to discuss how Reg-Compliance can help you navigate this landscape, please contact us at info@regcompliance.com.cn or visit our website at regcompliance.com. Secure your competitive advantage today.